And welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about mistakes to avoid in front of an audience. Mistakes to avoid in front of an audience. If you ever made a mistake in front of an audience, all right, I'm gonna help you with some tips and strategies on how to kind of avoid as much as possible. All right, we're not perfect, but as much as possible. But first, a little speaker wisdom. This is a pretty good tip, I think, that I use. When things are not going your way, you're feeling like, oh, I'm not getting speaking engagements, I'm not advancing here, I'm not getting opportunities. You might want to look to see what you're doing. And one thing that I tell people all the time is if you want an opportunity to happen, you got to get outside of the house. You got to get outside of the comfort zone. Nowadays, a lot of people are at home, they're on computers, they're doing everything virtually, but realistically, opportunities happen when you leave the house. Go to networking events, meet people, go to speaking engagements, seminar, workshops. There's so many places to meet people in your industry. And that's really how my business started to develop, is when I started going to these events, right? Meeting people, and then other speakers had their events and they would invite me along or to be a speaker at their event, or partnerships and things like that. So that's what creates the domino effect that's going to help you to thrive, is when you actually go out, look at people eye to eye, shake their hand, introduce yourself, get familiar with people. If you're in a group environment, that's also great as well. When you're in these groups, go to the group events on a regular basis, get familiar, out of sight, out of mind. When people don't see you consistently in person, they're going to forget about you because they're meeting so many different people. But when they see you on a consistent basis, they see how you operate, they see how you show up, and they know more about what you do, then they're more likely to invite you to some of their events or their groups. And that's how it works. That's how you're going to be able to succeed in this environment. Is get out of the house and start mingling and networking and just taking those risks and making it happen. Now that leads us to today's topic, which is to avoid those mistakes that you can make in front of an audience. And how do we do that? One thing that people do, and I used to be guilty of this as well, is information overload, filling every single thing that you can into, let's say, a 15-minute presentation, all of the 20 years experience that you have around this industry, everything that you've learned, into a 15-minute presentation. That's not what speaking is all about. Speaking is going to give them the what, but the idea is to lead them into, let's say, one of your programs. It's going to allow you to spend more time with them, and one-on-one time with them, and personalized time with them. And that's when you have time to give them the how. That's when you give them the actual steps on how to make those transformations. But right now, you're just talking to them about, what they need, what's out there, what's available. And so when you give people an excessive amounts of information, you're not focusing on the key points. You're not focusing on the issue that they have at hand. Okay, when you're speaking, that's what you want to do. You want to find their pain point. You want to get deep down to the audience members. Okay, find out what they're having a hard time with. Let them know that, hey, you are the person who can help them get outside of this situation. You are the person who has gone through it. You have gone through the trials and tribulations over time, and now you're in a position to help them advance outside of the problem or issue that they are coming across right now. That's it. That's it. And if they want to learn more, lead them into how they can best work with you. Now, the next thing that I see, and again, I was guilty with this previously, and I tried not to, but when you're really starting out, sometimes it can be difficult, and that is reading directly from the slides or reading notes. I don't know what to say about this one. When I see a speaker come on stage with note paper, I immediately shut off. What that tells me is that that person did not practice. What that tells me, that person does not care about the audience well enough, that they were prepared, that they don't even need their notes. And so you don't need your notes. If you're practicing and you're giving yourself ample time to prepare for that presentation, you should not require notes. You should know which slide is going to come up before the slide comes up. Yeah, you can, point to a few bullet points or something like that, but do not read from slides. That is the direct way to reduce and diminish your influence faster than pretty much anything, is reading from notes or reading from slides. I mean, I can see if it's, I don't know. I was at an event where an organizer was, or executive was, required to give a presentation. It was last minute. He just jotted down some things and he explained that. I mean, he knew that he was going to speak maybe 5 minutes prior, jotted down some things, and, he referred to his slides. That's okay. But if you have ample time to prepare for a presentation where there is an audience who has traveled, who has paid for that event, who event planners have prepared, and I know they are generally stressed out, putting everything together and set up for you, and you don't have time to practice your presentation, that again diminishes your influence, your credibility. Okay. And am I going to hire someone for my next event if they came there with a sheet of paper and read off of slides? Absolutely not. And so think about those things. And I'm going to ante up the professionalism here. That's the way you're going to grow and continue to get, more opportunities coming in. The next is when people neglect their audience, they're not engaging with their audience. What they're doing is just sitting there, just talking. All right. It sounds like it's very scripted. One thing that I make sure that I, myself, and my trainers do when we're facilitating for companies is that we incorporate activities and exercises and polls and breakouts and role plays and drilling and discussion and so many different ways that we incorporate into the learning to enhance the learning. We have videos, so many different things, as well as training and tools. We just make it really fun and interactive. If I'm training a company for 8 hours, do you honestly think that I want to speak for 8 hours? No, I get that audience involved. And you know what? I have a 97% success rate at a major organization because we incorporate all different tips and strategies and techniques and different ways of learning. And so think about that. How can you engage your audience? And that's training. When I'm speaking in front of audiences, I use their name. I use, them as an example. I'm engaging eye contact. Sometimes I'll go down in the floor area where where the audience members are, and I'll walk around, and have communications with the people in the audience, and definitely go back up. Now, I think it's some people do this a little bit too much. They're mingling around in the audience area, chit-chatting with people and trying to be more engaging. But realistically, what I found when you're doing that, you minimize the visibility of many audience members. There's a reason why the stage is elevated. And so everyone in the audience can see you. But when you're down below and you're mingling too long, a lot of people can't see you in their view. And so do that, but then make sure you bring it back. All right. And so don't neglect your audience engagement. That's extremely important when you're speaking. Now, another thing that I've seen some people do is they are very monotone when they're speaking, very monotone in their voice. There's no vocal inflection. How would you feel if I came on my show and I said, "Hi, my name is Christie, and we're going to talk about the mistakes to avoid when you're in front of other people or when you're in front of an audience." That's boring, right? You would not want to be engaged with me. You would not want to watch this. You would not want to tell people about, what I'm talking about. You would not be interested in anything that I have to say. I lose you. And so you don't want your audience members to fall asleep. You don't want to be jumping all over the place either, right? So there's a happy medium. You want to have energy. You want to be motivating. You want to be persuasive, interesting to your audience, right? Get them moving, get them excited, get them motivated to make some changes in their lives. However, you don't want to, like I said, you don't want to be all over the place. But again, you don't want to be so halfway dead that you are not moving anyone. That's one of the best ways to lose people is not having any emotion or enthusiasm to get them interested in what you're saying. There's no connection, there's no bond when you're doing that. And so you want to connect with people on a deep level. And in doing that, use your vocal inflection. And there's vocal exercises that you can do to strengthen your voice so that you can be able to project like I am, in different tone levels. And so use your voice, use your energy, smile a little bit, in those areas that are exciting, of course, but engage with them. Use that eye contact, but use the energy to connect with them. And not just your voice, but your energy. Seem interested in helping them, really, truly, genuinely interested in helping them, like I'm interested in helping you. And so that leads me to just another tip that I can give you. Let's see. It's people who don't practice. When you're neglecting practicing, things happen. You stumble over your words. You lose your train of thought. And my biggest pet peeve is that you either run out of time or you're speaking far too long. Usually you have the event planner will give you a certain time slot. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 45 minutes. Remember, people's times are valuable. Other speakers are important as well. They prepared, they maybe traveled also to that event. It's not all about you. So it really devalues your credibility. I've seen this happen more times than none when a speaker will be given 15 to 20 minute time slot and they go for 45 minutes to an hour. When that happens, people are whispering in my ear, "Oh my God, they're so long, they're taking so long, they could really cut that out." I mean, I'm hearing all of these things. So when you are putting together your keynote, make sure it's on point, it's concise, it's clear. It is on time. I practice the time of my keynotes on a regular basis. I use my phone, I put my timer on, and I time it and I adjust it based on the time that's given me for that presentation. Now, if something comes up and it's like something changes and I may need to extend the presentation, I'll just add more stories or anecdotes. And if my speech has been reduced some, I'll just take out a story or so. But I'd say 95% of the time, if they give me a time slot for that presentation, I practice within that time slot, because that's a super embarrassing also when you get cut off. And I have seen people get cut off. And when they get cut off, the first thing that I know is that they did not prepare. They did not prepare their time. If I can give you anything, it doesn't matter how great you are, what your offer is. If you can't fit your offer in because you're going too long and you get cut off, you just wasted a lot of time. I've seen a lot of people not be able to even share their offer or share more about how people can connect with them because they've run out of time and they've gotten cut off. And so make sure that you are practicing your time. over and over and over again. If it's a new keynote speech, I make sure even now that I'm practicing for at least 2 weeks, almost every single day, the time. And I'm adjusting to make sure that I fit within that time, everything from beginning to end. And so make sure you're doing that. Also, stumbling, slurring. I used to forget my train of thought a lot. It's going to go away if you, as you practice and you do more of this. Um, but practicing and rehearsing multiple times ensures you have a smooth transition. And also it's going to help boost your confidence because you're not worried about all the things. Oh, did I forget my words? Oh, what are they thinking about me? Am I doing a great job? You're doing a great job if you practice and you've evaluated your presentation and you know that your keynote and your message is on point and is there to help serve your audience to your greatest advantage and your ability. And so, yeah, I know I'm ranting, but make sure that you are rehearsing, right, your time and also your presentation and the delivery of it. And so remember, I just gave you a lot of information. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Hopefully you're going to be able to use it, take it, move forward, and do the absolute best at your next presentation. Now, if you need help in this area, you know where to find me. You can also go to my website, speaktoriches.com. Check it out. That is a new program that I have out. We're starting the next series now, and that's really going to allow you to create a lucrative and sustainable business using the power of public speaking. And you're going to be able to showcase yourself as an expert. Listen, event planners know amateurs from people who have been doing this a very long time and who are now seasoned enough to share and serve their audience. And so I help you to prepare for that so you can get ongoing speaking engagements or create your own speaking engagements, right? We put together a whole strategy for you. And remember, I'm here for you. I hold you accountable because I want you to succeed. I know what it's like to be stuck and stagnant in life. And I also know how it feels to feel absolutely amazing doing what I absolutely love and I'm passionate about and serving. I mean, in unlimited ways, using the power of public speaking. And I want the same for you. Now, this concludes today's episode, but I look forward to seeing you again next week, so you're not getting rid of me too fast. And as always, I send you much love and success. Bye for now.
Are you a professional struggling to speak confidently in front of others? Do you have trouble giving presentations or leading teams? Are you finding it difficult to sell to clients? At Be Seen Beloved, we understand the challenges you face. That's why we're here to help. With our expert guidance and training, you'll gain the confidence you need to excel in your business and career. Whether you're looking to lead groups, speak to larger audiences, or train people in your corporation, we can help. Our unique approach will not only improve your business connections and increase your income, but it will also lead to a happier and more fulfilled life. So why wait? Take the first step towards success and visit us at www.beseenbeloved.com today.